Well, that was depressing as hell.
That was,
and
rough.
I'm sure you guys are about to be depressed too because Lindsay's not here. She's not feeling well and she's at home. And so I have been left to my own devices with these guys, Gerald and Flex.
And unlike the PHNX Suns, when someone is not 100%, we let them sit out and rest.
Yeah.
And we send them home.
Yeah, we send them home.
Great point.
We don't let them play.
Great
That's
point.
it. So
God bless.
that was a big dull dud and not great. But you know, let's get into it. Devin Booker right off the bat. We saw him sprain his ankle. We saw him visibly upset on the sideline. And then I think we were all shocked that he came back into the game. And he came back into the game like he had a club foot.
Yeah.
And he was not a factor. He hit one shot. He was obviously limited, obviously injured. I'm not sure why we're pushing the issue in game number 18 against the Toronto Raptors on the road. I don't get it.
Yeah. No, it makes no sense. And it's a bad look. I think it's a completely bad look. I mean, I'm hoping this doesn't become something more because, man, he was useless, bro. He was useless.
He was.
And I'm going to call a spade a spade. That's just not a good look for him. It's not a good look for the coaching staff. Somebody has to be the adult in the room and say, yo, bro, it ain't working, dude. Get better, sit this out. Let's put somebody out there that can play defense, that can make a shot, that can do something on the basketball court. That was pathetic. That was bad.
We've had this conversation so many times about Devin Booker where someone needs to protect him from himself, whether it's on the coaching staff, a teammate. I don't know. In the heat of that moment, you're only going to be hearing from the training staff, maybe the coaches, maybe a teammate. But someone has to protect him for himself. I respect the hell out of him for wanting to help his team at all times, for being the competitive maniac that he is.
Yeah.
But this feels very easily like something that could stretch into a couple of games now, depending on the severity. And it was a fluke injury. Like, it sucks. He was, jumping through the air to pass, landed on somebody's ankle. That you can't do anything about that. That shit happens. But what you can do is minimize the damage caused by it, because once that adrenaline, the Advil, the painkillers, whatever you're on wears off, that shit's going to swell up. And now we're going to be looking at a situation where you've got a back-to-back against Denver and Memphis Friday and Saturday. You're traveling home, so you're in the air the whole time. And we've got the in-season tournament on Tuesday. We were just talking about how fun that's going to be and how the Suns were going to get their revenge on the Lakers. And now it's like, well, shit, we don't even know who's going to be available now.
Yeah, it's super disappointing. And I don't listen. It would be one thing if everybody on the team was just playing like ass. Nobody was able to step up, but Jordan Good was playing pretty well. And he was getting us a couple second chance opportunities. He hit some tough shots. Like, he wasn't just some casual off the bench. Like, he was playing at a high level. So the fact that we replaced him with a basically like a 10% Book. I know we all love Book, but damn, man, like, that didn't help us at all.
That didn't help.
And at the end of the day, that's really, if you're out there and you can help us and you're still 50%, okay. But if you're out there and you're basically halfway through his time on the court, Toronto basically realized he was more just a decoy than anything else. So they just sagged off of him. He wasn't even a threat.
Yeah, I mean, this may sound crazy because this was a bad game from the jump. It just felt weird. I honestly believe if Devin doesn't come back, we could have won this game. The minute he came back in, it just didn't feel right. We playing 5-on-4, dog. We playing 5-on-4. And I'm actually surprised Toronto didn't take more advantage of his ass. Because there was some times I'm looking, I'm like, how are y'all not just going at this dude and forcing us to get him out of a game? I was kind of hoping for that. I'm like, show that he can't defend on 3 straight possessions and get his ass out. And he just refused to do it. And it left him out there, left us 5-on-4. We had a way better chance with Goodwin tonight, and on both ends, offense and defense. So, yeah, it sucks. It's one of those things. And I again, I don't know who to blame. Like you can't put the player's always going to want to play, right?
No, this blame is strictly on Frank Vogel.
Right.
It's strictly on Frank Vogel.
You
got to be able to have control of your team and see that somebody is not contributing and get them out. Like I don't give a shit about Devin Booker's ego.
Correct.
Like I don't care that he wants to play. Dude, you were limping. You were hurting us.
Yeah.
Like you tell that to Devin Booker and you sit his ass down.
It. Point blank.
Just it.
Right. And you could see it right away when he was out there with the way he was backpedaling. Looked like me backpedaling out there. Like I could backpedal that fast.
Yeah.
And you know, he wasn't initiating on offense when he wasn't trying to turn the corner and attack. It was just trying to pass it off to somebody else. He was spotting up in the corners the whole time. Like he wasn't himself physically, and he wasn't himself from a performance standpoint. Like this is the third time in Devin Booker's career that he's attempted at least 12 shots and only made 2. Third time in his entire career. Literally one of the worst shooting nights of his career. He wasn't helping the Suns in any capacity. This wasn't like a Willis Reed type moment playing some random Toronto team that you see once or twice a year on the road.
It wasn't the NBA Finals like Saul's saying. It's fucking game 18.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
We're trying to get Bradley Beal back here. We just got Kevin Durant, and now we're right back in where we were like a week ago.
Back to
how quickly this shit shifts, man. No, it's true. It's like how quick it shifts. Pre-game, we're excited. Possible 8-game win streak, in-season tournament on Tuesday, a good weekend of basketball coming, and just like that, now we're like, shit. You mentioned it while we were watching. You're like, thank God it's Memphis Saturday.
Yeah. They didn't play well tonight at all from the jump, but they were still in the game.
Yes,
I don't know how. Like it felt like it should have been like a 20, 30-point blowout because it felt like Toronto was hitting everything and we couldn't hit anything. But by the numbers, as always, presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes, will tell you this true story as to why this game was as close as it was. As soon as we pull up, there it is, the graphic. There it is. Toronto shot 45.2%. They shot 37% from 3, both of them better than the Suns. And then the fast break points, 20-12, and points in the paint, 60-48. It felt like it should have been way bigger than a 7-point victory, and really a 3-point game or 2-point game. It was a 2-point game with about 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go. So I'm disappointed, and I'm more cautious that now we've hurt ourselves in the long run more than we've helped ourselves in the short term.
Agreed.
Yeah. And in this game, like, credit to the Raptors defense. We talked about it before the game. They've got a lot of long, strong defenders.
Yeah.
They've historically given the Suns problems offensively whenever they've gone to Toronto.
It's a lot of long gentlemen on that team.
Well, I'm not going there. But it was a lot of the same in the first half. Then the second half, Book rolls the ankle, and you could just see it, like, from the quality of 3-point looks that we were getting. A lot of them were ISOs where KD was trying to go to work on his own. He was 2 for 8 from 3. Suns shot 27% from 3 as a team. When Book is not able to get in the lane and kick out and the ball's moving, we're not generating good threes, especially against a team like this. And what do we say in the pregame? Fast break points. Like, the Raptors got 20 of them. That was the game right there.
That's the game. Yeah. It didn't feel right the whole game, guys. From the jump, it just fell off, and I'm a little disappointed that they kind of went away from their identity during this 7-game stretch. Like they started the game and completely took the ball out of Book's hand, went to KD bringing the ball up. There was no movement. It looked very flat. And I'm sitting here and I'm wondering why. I'm like, man, listen, we just came off a 7-game win streak. Everything's flowing. You can integrate KD. KD's good enough to fit in any system. Like, you can integrate KD and continue to play the way you're playing, and KD kind of soothes himself in. Didn't feel like that. It felt forced. It felt like, okay, you're back, KD. Here you go. Let's get back to ball watching. And it just didn't feel right. And then, as the game progressed, you saw what happened to Book, and it just got worse.
I also felt like this game was not a good matchup for Devin Booker.
It's not.
And because of what he said about the length
of
the guys that they can throw at Devin Booker. Devin, if anybody's going to bother Devin, it is going to be the lengthier guards with the longer arms in the league. Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, those types of guys tend to make it a little bit more difficult on Book. He started off the game 1 for 9.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he was lighting the world on fire. He didn't seem like he was even in a good rhythm to even run the offense. It felt like he was really herky-jerky the whole time. So it just, again, it was just a discombobulated effort all the way across the board for just about everybody except for really a couple guys, and one of them we'll name in this next segment. But while we think about this game, and maybe while you try to rationalize what the hell you just watched, maybe you should just drink some Four Peaks to try and get it out of your system.
That'll
or get
help.
something into your system to help you feel better. Four Peaks is one of the best beers in the Valley, obviously, as you all know. You can go check out their 8th Street Pub. Check out Kilt Lifter, their pumpkin porter right now. Like, they have all the bangers. You got to go out there, check it all out. And they always update their food every single week at the pub. So check them out. Visit fourpeaks.com/locator to find all your favorite brewery tours and events. Check out at Four Peaks Brew or at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You must be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks, and please drink responsibly. One way you can afford Four Peaks sometimes, if you're lucky, is by playing the Arizona Lottery. They got their holiday scratchers out right now. It's going to be fun. These are excellent Christmas gifts. You should go out there and buy tons of them for your family and friends. They make excellent stocking stuffers, so on and so forth. So check it out. We actually have a scratcher to give away to one of us 3, and Eric is actually going to play this game.
So I have a question for you guys. Okay. Whoever gets it right gets the one scratcher we get on the show. You keep whatever money you get.
Okay.
Okay?
Let's go.
Who is the one player on the Phoenix Suns tonight who had a worse field goal percentage than Devin Booker?
It's got to be
Booker shot 2 for 12.
It's got to be someone who went like 1 for something or 0 for something.
You can't look at the box score.
Yeah, I'm going to
say
I'm going to say KD. 11 for 30. Percentage-wise, I think that's lower.
That's pretty bad. Yeah.
No, it's not lower.
It's not lower.
I'm going
All right,
to go.
I'm gonna go Eubanks.
I'm going to go Yuta.
It's Yuta.
Yuta.
0 for 5.
Ooh, 0 for 5.
Everybody else had a couple buckets and shot way less than Book. So, Gerald, I'm going to bring this to you.
Yeah.
This is yours.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, while he does that, scratchers range anywhere from $1 to $25 and more, and top prizes can be up to $500,000. We'll see if Gerald.
If you
wins.
win 500 grand, bro, you're not leaving the studio.
He can't win 500 grand on that one. The most he can win is 5,000.
If you win 5,000,
I think it says 500. 500.
As we get later in the year, these scratchers are going to get to the bigger boys.
Yeah, of course. So go out and buy your holiday scratchers
500
today.
grand, you're not leaving, brother.
Go out and buy your scratchers today. And while we talk about the Arizona Lottery, we can talk about our new segment, which you are going to debut right now, which is Triple Money by Arizona Lottery, where we highlight the big 3 and their performance or lack thereof. As you can see, Bradley Beal, a little MIA right here at the bottom of the
Grim
screen.
Reaper got it.
I know. Devin Booker with the 8.55 and the plus minus at minus 15, which we all love to see because we fucking hate plus minus here. And then Kevin Durant, 34-6 with the plus minus of -1. Listen, everybody took an L tonight, but you don't have to if you just play the Arizona Lottery. So there you go. Let's talk about Kevin Durant. I thought he was good in spurts.
Yeah.
I thought he was erratic first game back from injury. I felt really good about his performance in the fourth quarter because it looked like he was grooving. Yeah. But outside of that, it was kind of a meh game.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It felt like he was in spurts looking good, and then he regressed a little bit. In fourth quarter, he looked terrific, actually. I'm actually pissed off that he actually decided to pass that ball to Booker. He wasn't passing to him the whole damn second half, and then on that one play, he decides, let me go to Book and try to, Book try to be a hero there. But yeah, it just seemed off all night, bro. And that leads to, here's the amazing thing, though, guys, is it blows my mind. 10 for 30? 10 for 30?
11 for 30.
11 for 30. And the guy still gets 30 points.
Yeah.
That blows my mind, but yeah, it was one great from KD tonight. Didn't feel fluid.
Nothing felt in the flow tonight. And I think part of that is because Book was getting locked up and then couldn't move and wasn't attacking like he normally does in the second half after he rolled his ankle. I think part of it is this starting lineup. Normally we've had Grayson Allen in Josh Okogie's place, not having that shooting, and not only not having Grayson shooting, but replacing it with Okogie, who we know the spacing cramps up when he's out there.
And playmaking.
Yeah.
Like, because Grayson's a better passer.
Yeah.
He's a better facilitator all the way around. He's just a better offensive player than Josh Okogie.
Yeah.
And he's limited that way.
It felt like a lot of the games early in the season that they played without Book, where KD was having to take a lot more shots than he normally would, where he was having to kind of force things because he felt the game was slipping away and because nobody else was really stepping up. So it's a tough loss. It's only one loss. Honestly, I don't care about the loss, the flow of the game, rotations, anything. At this point, I think we're all in agreement that what we care about moving forward is what are we going to hear about Book's ankle.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Listen, man, I don't want to get to a place where Booker comes back and then KD has to leave.
Right,
and then KD comes back, Booker has to leave. Beal comes back, KD and Booker have to leave. Like, I just want them to listen, you got to take care of your body.
Yeah.
And taking care of your body is more than just what you do off the court in terms of physical fitness and your nutrition. It's also being smart about injuries and really understanding the magnitude of them. And I'm sorry, but Game 18 in Toronto is not valuable enough to try and push it at this time of the year. You know, you can cause yourself way more significant injury, and we've seen that with Devin Booker before.
You know, I was watching that. And I go back sometime. I'm the old head on this group, but you do. You remember Grant Hill. You remember Grant Hill in the playoffs. Sprained ankle, looked just like that. It was the playoffs. He kept playing, played another game, and then he didn't play for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, that can happen. That's a scary thing. Like, you can have an issue, and you can be out there laboring, and it can get significantly worse in that second half. And so it just didn't make any sense. I agree with both of y'all. That's a Frank thing. They gotta pull him. And I do think we missed Nas tonight. I do think that Nas's ability to crash glass, offense and defense, physicality, they felt like, you said it, they were bullying us. There was a part of that game where it felt like bully ball.
Yeah.
And so it's just a tough night, man. Tough night in Toronto.
They could have used his athleticism and strength out there for sure, because Toronto has like 3 or 4 guys exactly that same archetype. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. But there is one guy that played very, very well tonight, and we got to give him his flowers because he is our big, bright, shining star, and that is Jusuf Nurkic.
Look at my man Nurkic.
Look at him. He's looking like a porn star in that sunshine right there. He does, man.
Nick Locke over there. Look at this guy.
19 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 assists. I mean, pretty close to a triple-double from Jusuf. He had some big time blocks too.
Yeah, he did.
And those blocks really kept the Suns in the game at some key pivotal points. I thought this was Jusuf's best game of the season.
It was. Those blocks came in at the right time. He was aggressive. And then he had that nice little post up in the paint where he went opposite shoulder, got the bank shot. And so he was terrific tonight, man. I mean, the best game of his life with the Suns happened to be Devin Booker's probably worst of his career, right? So that's how the shit works out. It's crazy.
Tough. I think I don't want to forget about his Chicago game because he did have a 20-17-8 game in that overtime win over the Bulls. Right. So that was a good game too. But this was like a really quietly great game from him because it was one of those where we looked at the box score in the third or fourth quarter, whatever it was, and we were like, oh shit, he's got 17, 11 and like 5 assists. He's been doing pretty great. Defensively, obviously, there was that one blow by that Dennis Schroeder had late in the game that put him up 5 and kind of put the icing on the cake there. But I thought defensively, he was better tonight, and he's been better over the last couple of weeks. I think Frank Vogel is getting him locked in. I think he's in better shape than he was at the start of the season. And I think the Suns have been okay defensively. They haven't been great, but they've been okay. And I hope that they're able to continue building on that because the one big question with Nurk is whether he's going to be able to hold up when opponents target him in the playoffs. Yeah, we haven't seen definitive proof that he is, but at least he's progressing in a more positive direction.
Yeah, there's people that are kind of mixed on Jusuf's performance tonight. I thought he was, to me, like the first half, I didn't really notice him a lot. You know, he did his typical Nurk things, and but in the second half, I really did feel like he made he announced his presence, especially in that fourth quarter, and I thought he was key at certain times on both sides of the ball. Yeah, and you got to give him credit for that. Like whether you're a big fan of him or not, I was really happy with his performance tonight. You should put some money on him next time he plays because you might win some, and you could do that by going to the DraftKings Sportsbook because they got some great odds for you. out there in the space. So check them out. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code PHNX. New customers can get 150 instant bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball, only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code PHNX. The crown is yours. And folks, here I go. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. Please play responsibly in Connecticut. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boo Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, must be 21 or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
There you go.
There we go.
That got better as it went on.
I
like that.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so you don't have to be a hero by reading that
That was kind of
you don't have to be a hero by reading that ad read, but you could be a hero by getting some bread from Hero Bread.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
You can be my hero, baby. Let's go. Listen, Hero makes sliced breads, buns, and tortillas that are available at hero.co and Amazon, high in fiber and ultra low net carbs and or sugar. Fewer calories than most of your leading national brands, 5 to 10 grams of protein per serving. So listen, if you're trying to be on a health kick, you're trying to watch what you eat and you want the best of the best, Hero Bread's the way to go. And right now, Hero Bread is offering listeners 10% off on their first order. Just go to hero.co and use promo code PHNX to save on Hero Bread today. That's HERO.co to save 10% today. Now, let's talk a little bit. We touched on Kevin Durant earlier. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the other guys. Okay. Some guys that you felt like stood out. We talked about Jordan Goodwin a little bit. I was really impressed by him. Everybody else, and here's the problem, everybody else kind of just faded away. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And nobody really gave you anything that really stood out. Yuta had a rough game. Eric Gordon continues to try and test the trees in the middle of the key, and it never works out. The only way I feel like Eric Gordon can be effective to the hoop is when he has the lane and he's using the glass. I always feel like straight on Eric Gordon is going to miss like 100% of the time is what I feel like. I could be wrong, but that's just what it looks like to me. Outside of that, any takeaways that you guys had from this?
Man, this was tough. It's tough. You want to try to be positive, but it just felt like a shitter tonight, man. It felt like no one had energy. It felt like no one brought it. You saw some things. KBD quietly did a couple little things in there that I wasn't, I was impressed with. But then he fades away. So, yeah, man, it's hard to pinpoint anything positive tonight, man.
I would have liked to see a little more KBD minutes because in his first 1 or 2 minutes on the court, he had a layup and then that and one on the loose ball that he got. He had 5 points really quickly, and then he only wound up playing 13 minutes for the game. I thought Jordan Goodwin hit a couple of really tough shots again in the fourth quarter there to kind of keep the offense afloat. We've seen him do that the last 2 games before this as well. So that would be a nice trend if it continues when the big three are resting or whatever. Outside of that, it's kind of slim pickings. Like I did like that Okogie, we talked a lot about him needing to do more. He had 10 and 7, got to the free throw line 6 times. Like if you're not going to be able to knock down threes, getting to the free throw line is a really great way to put some points up on the board.
I don't believe, maybe I'm wrong, I don't believe he attempted a 3 tonight, did he?
He did not, no.
Yeah. There was one particular possession at the end of the game where I felt like if he was really feeling like confident from 3, he'd have shot that from the corner, but he was just like, nah. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, again, we talked about in the pregame, one of the things about Josh Okogie is if he's going to get some minutes at crucial times, he's going to have to hit those shots. Yeah. He just is. Yeah. Like every good 3-and-D player in the league, historically, on any championship team, has always been able to hit that corner 3 or at least hit a 3 in clutch situations when given the opportunity. Bruce Bowen. I was about to say that. The epitome of that, right? Didn't do shit out. Couldn't dribble. Yeah. Couldn't take it to the rack.
Corner 3,
could he hit that corner 3 and play some bomb-ass defense?
Bruce Bowen. Definition of it.
So if Josh Okogie is going to get some significant minutes, he's going to have to hit that 3.
Yeah, I mean, I said it the other day. You want him to make the 3, But it's important to actually be willing to take it as well. Like when you get to the point where the defense is like, bro, I know you're not even going to take it. Yeah, dude, it's going to be hard to get you on the court. It's going to be hard to justify the minutes you're going to get if you're not even willing to take that shot. And we all cringed a little bit when he got that ball in that corner.
I was like, oh.
We all was like, oh, you going to do it, bro? You going to let it go? And he did what we thought he would do. So, yeah, it was crazy.
I think with Okogie, we need to adjust our expectations to he's probably, unless you are ahead and need stops to keep the game in your favor, I don't think he's going to be on the floor late. I think they might, like we saw tonight, turn more towards Jordan Goodwin, who can do some of the same things Okogie does defensively, some of the same things as an offensive rebounder, but isn't afraid to take shots.
Correct.
And when he's hitting, can really be an asset. Sometimes the shot selection can be a little questionable.
Yeah.
We saw that earlier in the season, but he's been on a heater recently. So if this is something that he can build on and sustain, then maybe he's the guy that you look to. You deploy Okogie in the first half, let him, run rampant for 10, 12 minutes, and then you go to Goodwin for the second half.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask him this question.
I know
where
he's
going to go.
Okay.
But how did you feel about Metu tonight?
Metu was fine. Like, he was fine. He didn't do much in the box score, but he had he hit a three. He had a couple of decent plays, and that's kind of all that you need out of him at this point, especially, Eubanks and Nurkic were both healthy, and he still got 15 minutes, 2 or 3. Like,
I felt like he could have been a little bit more aggressive on the offensive side.
Yeah.
There you go.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because nobody else was really clicking.
Yeah.
And when you know your guys aren't clicking, that's your opportunity to be like, well, fuck, let me try.
That's
You know what I mean? And I know he's still trying to figure it out. Find his role, and he doesn't want to do anything that's going to cause him to lose minutes.
Right.
So there's that hesitation. But again, like I feel like Metu's starting to prove that he can play a little bit more and get more opportunities and be a little bit more assertive and not defer to everybody right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because I like his shot.
I like
Hey,
it.
it's a beautiful shot. It's a beautiful shot when it goes in. And
when it goes in is the key,
when
because
it
he's
goes
shooting coming into tonight, he was shooting 29% from 3. Limited attempts, but it hasn't been great so far.
I want to do a flex impersonation, and can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
When do we start being really worried about Yuta?
Ooh.
I think it's too early.
It's still too early. I think people were early, like when he had that string of 3 or 4 games where he wasn't shooting the ball well, but before that he was like a 40% shooter. People are going to overreact at this juncture of the season. I'm a little bit worried about his minutes at this point, just because we've seen Naz come in and be kind of that guy, that wing coming off the bench recently while Yuta was injured. Now Yuta's been back 0 for 5 tonight in 16 minutes. I know Frank Vogel likes that, he knows where to rotate defensively and stuff, but it does seem like he's been just kind of outmatched on both ends so far. The corner 3 hasn't been falling like we thought it would. It's going to be one of those things where he's going to need to shoot himself out of this slump and prove that he deserves minutes over Naz at this point.
I think Naz got him. I think Naz at this point got him. I do think that Metu has an opportunity now to carve out some time of Yuta's. I really do. I mean, I'm not seeing enough from Yuta that makes me feel like he's significantly ahead of Metu right now.
So this is the problem that I think people are missing quite a bit. When you have one of your superstars, only one, and you have Yuta out there, you're asking Yuta to do more than he was really brought in here to do.
Correct.
The whole reason why Yuta was going to be an answer in some of these cases is because you had 2 superstars, maybe 3 at a time, on the court that is going to draw all that attention. Then he's wide open. Right now, those shots that he was getting, maybe in games 1, game 8, 9, 10, whenever, when we both had Book and KD, he's not getting those when it's just one of them on the court, because the defense knows he's going to be the other threat in that corner. So I feel like, he's trying to force the issue and take the ball to the rack a little bit more, and it's just not there. It's just not there. It's not his game. Like, I feel like he'll settle back and get back into that groove once those guys come back into the fold. And again, we're in game 18. Once we get to game 40, 41, I think we'll know who's going to be the ones that we could really count on for a duration of the time. So I think it's too early to really bail on Yuta for sure.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to bail on him yet. He's a good basketball player, but you nailed it. I think he's a systematic basketball player that takes advantage of the situations when they present themselves, and he hasn't had too many of the situations present themselves like they expected him to, with 2 or 3 guys on the court. So it's way too early, man. He's a good basketball player. I don't like him missing free throws, man. As a shooter, that bothers me.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
he's in his head a little bit, I think.
Yeah, a little bit. And he has time to get right. Like, again, it is November. We are not even in December.
Yeah.
Most people don't even start paying attention to the NBA until Christmas. So it's too early to be overly concerned. It is a little bit early to be looking at Nas and thinking, okay, this guy might be moving ahead of him in the pecking order. And I just looked it up. I'm surprised at this a little bit because of the way that the conversation around Yuta has been. But coming into tonight, shooting 38% from 3, which is nowhere near as good as his career high 44% last year, but 38% is still very good.
How many attempts?
Above average.
How many
3.6 attempts, which is also a career high for him.
Okay.
So he's playing more minutes than he ever has. He's taking more threes than he ever has. Still shooting 38%. It's going to go down after tonight, obviously. But it's really not as bad as we've made it sound. Like he's shooting like sub 34%.
Nah, he'll be fine.
Yeah,
he'll be fine. I don't know if we'll be fine though, because our bets look like crap. Took another L tonight.
It's brutal.
We all took L's tonight, every single person. So hey, what are you gonna do? The leaderboard looks like shit. I think I'm at there it is, minus 71.
Oof.
Lindsay lost, so she's now coming back to reality at $118 positive. Flex minus 35, and Espo is the Titanic, just falling all the way to the bottom of the ocean right now at minus 137.50. So not too good for the home teams. No,
we got a long season to go.
It is a long season.
We're gonna need to start stringing some wins together. We
We
can't have a graphic with all negatives by the end of the year.
No. We'll figure this out. We'll get this right. We did last year. I have confidence we'll do it again this year. So we'll see. But this Friday, the Nuggets are coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get any easier for the Suns. Mm-hmm. They have a back-to-back Friday, Saturday. Friday against the Nuggets, Saturday against the Memphis Grizzlies. And you can catch all those games on Arizona's Family Sports. It's all you need. And all you need is an antenna. It's that simple. All you need is an antenna. We actually have one here in the office because I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a little knowledge if you haven't figured it out. If you have an antenna and you hook it up directly to your TV, your feed is going to be about 30 seconds to a minute faster than any stream you're going to watch. And why do I know that? It's because every time I watch a game, Johnny Ruins It All is back there. He knows all the answers before anything's happened in the game when we're streaming it. Bro. So I have deferred to the antenna TV so that way I get it as soon as he gets it.
Bro, Espo is the one that's always asking and peeking over and dropping subtle hints. I stay quiet. I know what's going to happen, but I stay quiet. I keep it to myself.
So you get that, so you can watch all the games. And if you can't support your Phoenix Suns courtside, you should watch them couch side. Wherever you live in Arizona, visit azfamily.com and click Suns games for listing information for your in your area. AZ Family is a great resource to help you find Phoenix Suns games on Arizona Family Sports. Today, the Suns were not very good. You might say that, the sky's not falling. Mm-hmm. Okay. The floor is not the ceiling, but if you want to get some good flooring, you can go to Empire. I'm trying so hard with these transitions. I could have said there was a lot of loose balls today, and then the Suns were diving all over the floor.
There you go.
Speaking of flooring, you can go
Sounds
to
good.
Empire today.
Keep going.
You can get shop at home convenience with the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a price match guarantee. Empire today is the best place to get your new flooring. So of course they have copycats, but Empire today can't be beat on quality, service, speed, and they won't promise the lowest prices because anyone who does knows that they're putting flooring in your home that wouldn't be very good. So they are very high quality. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive up to $350 off on a discount when you use the promo code PHNX. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/PHNX for details. We're actually going to have some flooring installed here and we'll be able to show you what it looks like because it's going to be big and beautiful. So
There we go.
there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I don't really know what else to talk about, to be honest with you. You guys have there were some updates.
There were some updates. We'll get to those in a second, but I'm just kind of curious we're not doctors. We don't know the extent of the ankle injury, but if you had to guess, percentage chances that Devin Booker plays on Friday.
0.
Shit.
No, 0.
0.
I'm telling you, 0.
I was going to go like 5.
We've all sprained our ankles at one time or another. And some of them are minor.
Yeah.
That did not look minor to me. Because especially the way he was limping. Because sometimes when you tweak your ankle, tweaking is okay.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of like work it out. And it might be sore the next day, but you know you're going to be okay, right?
Yeah.
But that one, I can guarantee you, is swollen right now. He didn't ice it right away.
Nope.
And so I don't know what's happening. In my estimation, he's not going to play these 2 games. I'm praying and hoping that he will be back for the in-season tournament game against the Lakers in LA, because I don't really want to see KD in the squad solo again without Devin Booker there. It would just be really, really awful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm worried about Tuesday. I think he won't play Friday or Saturday. And I got to question, how much do you want this in-season tournament? If he's not right, you can't play him.
No.
You can't play him. It's not that important. I think it's a big enough tweak that we're going to be sitting here Tuesday wondering if Devin's going to play or not.
I think if it's close, if he's like 90%,
then
I think he'll play. Because I feel like when you get close to the end of an ankle injury, you can play through it,
and it
helps a little bit. So I'm not too worried. But listen, you got 5 days to get that shit right. And I don't know if that's going to be enough.
I wouldn't even send him to Phoenix, bro. I send his ass right to LA and start getting treatment in LA so you ain't got to get on another plane. I'm telling you, you want him to play Tuesday? Right to LA, buddy. We're going to get treatment around the clock and we'll see you at the arena on Tuesday.
My question is, who is going to stop him if he wants to play, though?
Yeah, tonight, based on tonight, nobody.
It might be James Jones now.
Because I know, based on what you were hearing and what I was hearing coming off the calf strain, they were more careful coming back.
Yes.
They did their due diligence this time.
Yep.
They didn't rush anything because, if you fuck with that, you can end a career real quick. But this is just an ankle sprain. So is he going to have that same patience, especially with the season that he's had so far that's been so up and down, so many different little nagging injuries? Is he going to force the issue or not?
Okay.
We heard from Frank Vogel tonight, Dwayne Rankin, bringing this on Twitter. Frank Vogel said he was just trying to tough it out in terms of Booker playing. We all know that. When asked about Booker's status Friday facing the defending champion Nuggets, Vogel said he's concerned, but we'll see how he responds. If he's concerned now already,
he's not playing. Yeah, he's not.
I would be shocked if he plays on Friday, and I'd be shocked if he plays on Saturday too. Honestly,
he's not playing this weekend, man. I'm telling you, he's not playing this weekend, and Tuesday is going to be questionable. I don't think this is a clear cut. He's playing Tuesday. The one thing that you said that worries me a little bit is, the calf injury came right after him coming back from an ankle injury.
Yeah.
And he tried to push it.
Yep.
So now you got to play the same game. Hey, Devin, if you're not right, we're not going to play musical chairs here. You sprained left ankle, right calf hurt. Right ankle, left calf hurt. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. And with the issues we got with Brad, it's not worth it. So
again, the goal is the championship.
Yes.
It's not the in-season tournament championship. No. It's the NBA Finals. Like that's where you raise the banner. Like I love the in-season tournament. Don't get me wrong. And I think, if you're 95, 90%, go ahead, push yourself through it. That's fine. But if you're still 50, 60%, it's just not worth it. We've seen Devin Booker at times be able to overcome some injuries and still play like he's been Devin Booker.
Yeah.
We've also seen times where he's been out there and you're like kind of wondering he's a little bit off. It's just not quite clicking. Last year against the Nuggets is a perfect example. The year or 2 years before that, the NBA Finals in Game 6 against the Bucks, he was still struggling there with a hamstring. There's just things where I'm like, just get right, right, and the time will come for you to have to push it and you'll have your Isaiah Thomas limping up down the court moment and scoring 25 in the third quarter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That'll come, but it's not right now. It's not in game 18, and it's not against the Toronto Raptors, okay?
Yeah.
Just chill.
And I do have to remind the chat because I'm seeing so much talk about made of glass, injury prone. Anthony Davis has played more games than Okay, first of all, Anthony Davis has not played more games than Devin Booker. I'm sorry. Just go look at the numbers for the last 3 or 4 seasons. He played 3 games more than Book last year. And after that, it's like 20 less games, 30 less games. So stop that. Second of all, like, this is a tough one because to start the year, it has been a lot of like fluke injuries or things that you're like, okay, yeah, he's a little injury prone. Tonight, he landed on some dude's foot. Like, that's going to happen to anybody if you land on a dude's foot like that. Like, the way that he rolled it on the replay was rough. You could see his reaction on the bench. That shit hurt, and he knew it was bad from the start. I wish they would have kept him out there to save him from himself, but it is what it is. So, you know, I hate the injury prone thing because these dudes are in like 100 times better shape than anybody in the chat or anybody on this panel.
I think he was more frustrated. I think when he went to the sideline,
he was frustrated. Yes.
I think he put that towel over his face. Maybe he's a little emotional.
Yeah.
But listen, you get banged up like that.
Yeah.
Now 3 times in the first 18 games.
Yeah.
You're gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
You're gonna be upset.
Yeah.
Because you want to be out there and play.
And Saul, he's playing some of the best basketball in his career.
I know.
You know, I want to say this because you brought this up, and I think it's a good time. Me and Eric were talking about this the other day. So he's had these injuries this year, ankle and calf. You know, Devin had the history with the hamstring and the groin. Okay. Now he's done, and this is something, this is real talk, man. This guy is finally invested in getting a real team around him for the groin and the hamstring. For the first time in his career, he hired a personal person that's working with him daily, travels with him, does certain things with him, and the hammies and the groin.
Like what are we talking about? Like we got a yoga guru or something like that?
No, a profession. She used to be Chris Paul's personal groin person.
Okay.
And when Chris moved on, Devin has hired that team. Okay. So this person is a guru at groins and hamstrings. Okay. And this is the first time in his career that he's done this. And that's a hefty investment.
Yeah.
Like, you're investing for someone to basically travel with you around the clock and do certain things. And I feel terrible that, you know, he's done that. He's taken that step. And then these things have been so fluky. It's like, it's a tough break. And so when I see people talking, you don't know the work these guys put in behind the scenes, the effort, the monetary stuff that comes in to keep their bodies, well-oiled machine. And he's kind of feels snake bitten. So I think that towel moment was a little bit like, damn, I'm trying to do everything right, and I'm just catching bad breaks. So it could be worse, guys. Let's just hope he gets through this.
Espo just texted me and said, personal groin person?
I'm sorry.
I was trying to just go right by
proud
it
of you.
because
I'm proud of you.
Because listen, like, there's certain topics and there's certain subjects that you just don't want to touch.
Yeah, I'm
You were so close to growth.
So we moved on by it. Like, come on, man. Come on, you gotta give me that one.
I'll give you that one.
I did say that, right? I did say that. Yeah.
It's all good. It's
Y'all,
all good.
y'all know what I mean.
I knew what you meant.
But listen, like, you need a specialist to be able to. He had been banged up with that hamstring and that groin too many times.
Yeah.
And it's a flexibility issue.
Yeah.
It's a longevity issue. You got to make sure that you're in proper condition and shape, especially when the weight of the franchise is on your shoulders like Devin Booker has it right now. Like, he's got to make sure he's good. So I'm glad that he did that.
Yeah.
It will pay off. It's just right now, like you said, he's getting some fluky things happening to him, and they'll get past it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Suns fans, we just need you to call your parents, forgive the people that have wronged you, seek forgiveness from the people that you have wronged, because we got to turn this juju around for whatever has cursed this collective fan base. It's insane. I just want to see the big 3 play together. We thought we were so close a few weeks back.
So close.
And now it feels like this
We actually got closer today for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
When do we start blaming the pants? Now, if it's going down.
Well, let's just say this.
Okay.
We've obviously tested this, and the purple pants don't mean shit if they're not here in the
That's
studio.
right. That's right.
Okay.
That's true.
So
Streak's
they
still alive.
still work. Streak is still alive.
Mhm.
It has to be here. It has to be in a seat. and it has to be Espo.
Stop having birthdays, Espo.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Come
You're like
on,
a
bro.
week-long celebration,
Like
dude.
60 years old already.
We need the purple pants presents. They have to be present.
Yes, exactly. So, real quick, let's talk about the in-season tournament. Since we talked about that in pregame, we'll wrap it up here with that. But in-season tournament, the bracket as it lays out, the Suns will take on the Lakers, and then the Kings will take on the Pelicans. I'm glad the Pelicans got in over the Rockets because I felt like the Pelicans were a little bit more of a surefire West contender as opposed to the Rockets. To me, there would have been a little bit of a flukiness about the Rockets being in there. The Kings are a very good team. They came back from 24 down last night, 1-1 against the Warriors. The West is going to be fun to watch these games. I'm really excited. Even if Devin Booker doesn't come back, I still feel like Kevin Durant is good enough. And the players, more importantly, I think have learned a couple lessons from playing the Lakers the first couple times that they'll put it together, I think.
I agree. This is the third time.
And the Lakers are also banged up now, too.
They're banged up, too, yeah. This will be the third time, and I couldn't agree with you more, man. I think KD, without Book, KD and that supporting cast, they've learned some lessons. They make a couple corrections. They could have won both those games. So it's not all lost. If Devin's out, KD can handle the fort. And hey, who knows? Maybe we get in there, get upset, right? Without Book, because we'd probably be the underdog. So you can get a dub and then get Devin back in Vegas. That's cool too.
And then in the East, the Celtics are playing Indiana
Pacers.
in Indiana, and then the Bucks are playing. Who's the other one?
Bucks are playing Knicks.
The Knicks, in Milwaukee. So you gotta think it's gonna be a Bucks Celtics Eastern final. I mean, Indy's fun to watch, though. I mean, Indy's, man, they're one of the higher scoring teams in the league.
Almost
they can
130,
they can shoot the ball. Like they got my guy Benedict Mathurin and TJ McConnell, two Wildcats on this team. I mean, how can you not love
McConnell is not even playing right now.
I don't care. He's always going to be TJ. TJ.
Okay, go TJ. I am really excited about this, not just because you get to see a team like the Pacers that they've been really good.
They've been really good.
But will they be in the Final Four of the East this year? Maybe not. So it's fun to put teams that might not make it that far in the playoffs into this environment where it's win or go home. It's single elimination. Like if Jason Tatum has an off shooting night, we're going to see somebody else advance. Like it's fun because these matchups could be previews of what we see playoff time, or they could just be fun one-off flukes that have greater significance because these guys all want to win this thing. Like I think that was missed on a lot of people that kind of shrugged off the in-season tournament. Like these guys are competitive no matter what. If it's just a regular season game in November, they still want to go out there and win because they're some of the most competitive people on planet Earth. You put even a $500 or $500,000 cash prize in there and just the boasting rights of being able to say, yeah, we won the in-season tournament, we're going to see some really fun basketball. And that's what we've seen in the group play stage. Like these guys trying to rack up the point differential, trying to get back in games that maybe normally they would have packed it in. Like it's appealing to their better senses as competitors in that way. And so I'm really excited that we don't normally get to see a bracket with a single elimination NBA playoff game. We see game sevens where it's do or die and the basketball can be a little bit sloppy, but we don't see just like a win or go home type environment. So I'm looking forward to it a lot. I really hope Devin Booker is healthy for it because this would be 10 times more fun for us Suns fans if he is. But even if he's not, it's definitely basketball that has my attention now.
I think that also could have contributed to Devin's frustration tonight as well.
Yeah.
Because he's taking this seriously and he wants to play in this thing. I think he understands what Vegas could look like, and I think he wants to play in that environment. So I think that probably contributed to his frustration. Also, okay, let me ask you guys this.
Okay.
As we stand right now, who do you think is coming out of the West? Who do you think is coming out of the East?
Damn, dog.
You know I had to do that.
Damn, dog. So
if I had to pick today, I'll start.
Go ahead, you start.
If I had to pick today based on health, everybody and how they're playing, I probably would go the Kings because I think they're playing a high level of basketball. They're grooving. They got great chemistry and everybody's healthy. And I'd probably go Celtics. In the East.
That'd be fun.
I mean,
it would be fun.
That would be fun.
It would be fun.
I really like that matchup. I'm gonna assume Devin's not playing. Can we do that?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna assume Devin's gonna miss this tournament, and if he misses the tournament, I I still like the Bucks in the East, and I kind of tend to lean towards the Kings.
I think this though, if Devin doesn't play Tuesday, I think he plays Thursday.
Oh, if they advance,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If they win Tuesday, I feel like a week
he'll play.
He'll play on Thursday,
Yeah.
especially in Vegas.
Oh,
we're gonna need KD and them boys
Yeah.
to show out.
to make two losses, man.
Yeah.
Make good on that. Get this one for
Gonna
Book.
need Grayson to come back from whatever
Nasir.
whatever's going
Grayson.
on with him. He probably had some bad hot pot in New York and just did not do good on the old
I'm wondering if he
system.
ran into Lindsay somewhere, man. Because
Lindsay's under the weather.
under the weather, man.
Grayson under
So
the weather.
Grayson's under the weather. Yeah.
Coincidence?
But can I ask y'all this? I'm going.
Wait,
I want your answer.
I mean, before tonight, it would have been Suns Celtics. Now, for me, I think it's Kings Celtics. I think the Kings are playing really good ball. But I will say, the Pelicans, they're kind of a pesky, tricky little team. Like that'll never not crack me up. But I honestly think whoever wins Kings Pelicans is probably going to come out of the West now, just because of what
Health
we
and
saw
stuff.
from Booker tonight. Yeah.
Is there real quick? Is there one that y'all like? I got. I looked at the bracket and I'm like, man, that'd be fun.
Outside of the
one?
Suns,
Yeah, outside
if there
of
was
the
a
Suns,
matchup I would love to see,
Yeah,
it would be Kings Pacers.
there you go.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
That would be a fun.
I would love that.
That'd be a fun
game,
final
bro.
game.
Be
And also,
150 to 152.
just a giant middle finger to the rest of the NBA.
Yeah,
right.
Like these two small market teams can't
Indiana,
compete.
Sacramento, baby.
Yeah, let's go, man.
And it's
Throw
fun
3 letters.
because we could appreciate the matchup and not have to deal with narratives like, is anyone watching the NBA Finals? Are the
Yeah.
ratings going to be like,
Seriously.
fuck off. Can we just enjoy one fun basketball game between
Exactly.
two high-scoring teams?
I love
Let's
it.
do that.
Yeah,
That's-
and plus,
that's cool.
like the small market teams, if they're good, deserve love.
Yeah.
Like I think Indiana should be on some of these nationally, these national games because they're a hot ticket right now. They're a good basketball team. Like you got, they're must see TV right now. If
They
you haven't
are.
watched Orlando, same
Orlando,
thing.
the same
Like
thing.
you got,
I
some,
hated that they didn't get in.
we
bro.
got some surprises out there that people are either sleeping on or they don't want to give respect to. And that's why, like for me, the NBA scheduling is a little jacked up. I feel like they should have, maybe the first month, cool. You have your slotted teams, but then it should be kind of like, okay, we're gonna pick a couple games of the week instead of just locking into
That's true.
like, oh, it's gonna be Lakers Celtics because we know. Well, if LeBron and AD aren't playing for the Lakers, do I really want to watch this game? No.
Facts.
So,
And even
facts.
with LeBron and AD, like, no disrespect, but this is a middle of the road team this year.
Yeah.
They're 11-8 and they have a negative point differential. Like they're not elite at anything right now. Maybe they figure it out. Maybe they make some trades or something. But right now, the Lakers are just meh.
Yeah,
They're there.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of super chats to get to.
Okay.
So we're going to wrap up the show with that. Rusty Shackelford said, I know we won't win every game, but this one was frustrating. Book should not have come back and Raptors could not miss. Pain. Yeah.
Pretty
I
much
feel you,
it,
Rusty.
Rusty.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what we said. Psycho Blue said, never forget, we are the curse. Take the weekend off, Book.
That's why I'm saying call your parents. Apologize.
Seriously. Joshua Cosner, I think, is his first super chat. I might be wrong. Seemed like a bit of a lax in defense tonight. Also missing Devin 20 more points. Still early in the season. A 1,000,000%. I thought defensively was probably a little bit more of a disappointment. It felt like the Raptors were getting too many easy buckets, too many wide open shots, and then too many second chance points at key opportune times.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So Big Vernon, this game is on the refs and Vogel with the dumb I don't know if it was really on the refs.
No.
I know a lot of people were complaining about the Suns not getting as many calls as the Raptors, so maybe you have some validation.
The
to that,
Suns
but-
took 2 more free throws than the Raptors. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Adam Silverman, agree completely about Vogel needing to sit a hurt Booker in Game 18. This is the type of game we will need to win in the playoffs. Physical and refs call a little. Good work
replacing the boss.
I think in
the
refs
boss.
call little, like refs don't blow their whistles
they
a
don't
lot.
call as much. And then Saul, good work replacing the boss tonight in the host chair.
Oh, gotcha.
Got it.
Yeah, she is the boss on this show for sure.
Except for reading super chats, though.
Yeah. And then Leo Barrientos said, off topic, but Detroit is on a 15-game losing streak. This one's on money.
Damn. We just got a punch down, huh?
I mean, man, it is rough out there in Detroit right now, man.
It is.
I don't know what to say about that. I've not watched a lot of Pistons games.
They've been
for
missing
obvious-
a lot of key players, though. Like, I don't think they have their best one or their second best one in Bogdanovich. I think he's been hurt for most of the
Bogey
year.
was hurt.
Still, 15 games.
No,
is
15 is a lot. 15 is a lot.
Bro, that contract he got, bro. Do you think he gets through that contract in Detroit?
At this rate, no.
Considering most NBA coaches don't, I would probably say no.
Wow, bro.
But it's still early.
That was one hell of a contract. What was it, 7 years?
7
70?
years.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money. It was at the time he signed it. It was the biggest contract ever for an NBA head coach.
Yeah, still is. So
then Pop has Pop's extension. No,
I think Pop is higher annually. But
Annually,
not as
you're
long.
right. You're right.
Okay.
Long term, you're right. So yeah.
anyway, thank you guys in the chat for giving us your feedback, both good and bad, and both good and awful. So thank you so much for joining us today. I hope I did Lindsay service or justice here in this chair.
Yep.
I think we all did a pretty solid job.
Yeah.
And unlike the Suns, my team stepped up and helped me out. So there you go. You please leave us a like on your way out. And until next time, you can follow me on Twitter at Saul_Bookman. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourget, and you can follow Flex at Flex from Jersey, and you can follow the show at PHNX Suns, PHNX_Suns on Twitter as well, and on Instagram. We have our own Instagram as the Suns and PHNX Sports on Instagram. So until next time, yes, Girth Jr., I will get a haircut. I promise you. My barber's down in Tucson. It was just a whole thing. So thank you all for joining us, and I will let Gerald take us home.
Call your parents. Apologize. Beg forgiveness. We got to turn this curse around. See you guys next time.
We all silly like the mayor.